I'm Lauren Fix, and this is 4-Minute Friday. Here's what's going on in your automotive world. The weather and how it impacts the safety systems of your vehicle. Also, emission standards and how they might impact your vehicle in your state. Want to hear more? Stay right with us. Let's put 4 minutes on the clock. Well, as you can see, we are in winter weather, and I have an SUV. And as I pulled out of my garage and down my street, the first thing that happened is a notification on my dash saying, hey, your active cruise control doesn't work. Your cross-traffic alert doesn't work. Your backup camera doesn't work because you can't see out of it. Why? Because the car has snow on it. It was snowing pretty heavily here in the Northeast. And as soon as it starts to snow, a lot of the safety features on your vehicle don't work because they have cameras, they have radar, they have LiDAR, and they have sensors. And when they're covered, of course, it doesn't work. You may say, well, get out of your vehicle, get out a snow brush and clean it off. Well, I did. The fact is that it's snowing heavily, weather is bad. If you don't have snow, you might have sand, you might have wind. There's a lot of other weather factors that impact safety features. The weather is going to impact the future of possible autonomous cars. So while all these manufacturers are touting that they're going to have autonomous cars, well, forget the government regulations, the insurance regulations, and even the hackers, which are definitely a hurdle to clear. Weather is a huge factor. If you can't even use your cruise control when it's snowing or it's windy or it's raining or it's foggy or a million other little weather features that I might be missing, I'm sure you'll list those down below. These are factors that are going to stop autonomous cars from hitting the street. And if you allow a car to drive you every single day, what's going to happen when you have to take the wheel? Well, you probably don't have the practice for it because you're not doing it every day. Just like anything you do in life, if you don't practice that skill, it doesn't get better. You tend to lose that skill. So keep that in mind before you think autonomous cars are the answer. If it's snowing outside, if it's bad weather outside, it's going to impact the safety features of your vehicle, which means pay attention to the road and learn how to drive. And if you haven't taken a driving school in a long time, I highly suggest you do that, especially if you haven't learned anything since you were 16 years old. Believe me, vehicles have changed, technology changes every single year, and we try to bring you those updates as they become available so that you're aware and you can be safer on the road. The emission standards of the state of California may be coming to your state. Well, yeah, they just came to the state of Colorado. Now, there are other states out there, actually 17 of them, that have decided they're going to follow the California regulations. And you think, well, what's the big deal? So what, we have better emissions, it's better for the environment. Well, maybe so, but it impacts you on a daily basis. What you're starting to see of part of this is some pretty interesting changes. Started off with them getting a group of people together that were very pro-California emissions. And they asked them, do you own an electric vehicle? Most of them in this group don't even own a vehicle, and those that did owned gasoline-powered vehicles. So this is interesting. So you want me to drive EVs, you want you to drive EVs, but those people that are telling us we need to drive EVs, they don't drive electric vehicles. They don't even own vehicles. So how do they know what the experience is like if you don't own a vehicle? Well, they probably take mass transportation and they believe that their way is best. Well, it doesn't actually work that way because most of this country is very rural. There's no charging stations and there's no mass transit. And that's why I have this SUV with snow tires on it, because when the weather gets super bad, I don't have to worry about it. If I need to get to the airport or wherever I need to be, I can get there. So what happens when California emissions get to your state? Well, here are some factors you need to consider. The first thing they want to do is put everyone on a road diet, which means take those 4-lane, those 6-lane roads and cut them down by 1 full lane and give them to bicyclists who do not pay for the road use. You do, as car owners. Every time you buy a vehicle, you buy gasoline and you register your vehicle, there are dollars and cents that are supposed to go into the road taxes in order to keep the roads maintained. That's what they're supposed to be used for. Well, if you give that money away to bicyclists, that means less money is being used for road repairs. So what happens? Well, you've got buses. If there's buses available in your area, they want their own lane too. So as you keep limiting it, what they're doing is making it more painful for you to own a vehicle, hoping you'll use mass transit. Well, the problem is they call it that last mile. The bus drops you off at a bus stop or the subway drops you off at a subway stop if you have those, and you still have to walk that last mile. And these are factors that are not being considered by those people that use this service. There's an elitist group of people that are making these decisions where they say, that's okay for you to take mass transit, for you to ride a bike, but they have car services. This is part of the government. They're telling you what they think is the best choice. Well, let's be honest with ourselves. This is not a great solution. The state of Colorado is fighting this. There needs to be a solution that is a mixture of choices. If you want an electric vehicle, you should go buy one. You want a hybrid? Absolutely, you should have that option. You want a diesel vehicle, like the diesel vehicle I'm sitting in? I'm not about to get rid of this vehicle. How about a gasoline-powered vehicle? Absolutely. All these choices are good, including compressed natural gas, and there are other solutions coming up of biodiesel and other things. The fact is, you as consumers in America want your choices. The last thing you want to be is limited to be told when to get someplace on someone else's schedule and allow bicyclists to take away the lanes that you pay for in your taxes. This is something that is absolutely infuriating to me, and you're watching it happen in the state of Colorado, the state of Massachusetts picked it up, Connecticut, New York, and you're watching it come to your state. If the federal government has their way, and not the current federal government, because they're fighting California, but the federal government eventually has their way, everyone's going to be paying road use tax because bicyclists are going to get to use it for free. Problem is, there won't be enough of us paying the road use tax because either one, we can't afford it, or two, they've forced us out of our vehicles. Very interesting. I keep talking to people, and you keep putting your comments down below, and it seems like the bulk of us really don't want California regulations in states that don't make sense. This is the time to make a difference. Next time you go out and vote, find out where that candidate you think you're going to vote for, where they stand when it comes to automotive, because I'm telling you right now, if we don't stand up and make ourselves known, they're going to tell us the rules of the road, what we can drive, how we can drive, where we can drive, when we can drive, and what we can fill it with. You know what? I'm not getting rid of my keys to my vehicle. You're going to have to pry them out of my cold, dead hands. This week in automotive history, February 25th, 1919, Oregon implements the first gas tax. Of course they do. It's the state of Oregon. They also follow the California regulations. February 26, 1944, the Sports Car Club of America was founded. A group of guys got together and said, we want to preserve our love for automobiles. Wow, that certainly goes along the same tone as today's conversation. February 27th, 1892, Dr. Rudolf Diesel filed a patent for the diesel engine. And I'm sitting in a diesel SUV, and I love diesel. There's nothing like compression and torque, baby. Check out the links in the descriptions below. If you want to see our latest video, just click right up there. If you want to see what YouTube suggests, just click right down there. And of course, you'd like to follow us and subscribe. And of course, we love your comments. You can click right over there. We'll look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.